Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on the channel. Ryan Broten, he's had 4 fights and 4 defeats, but yeah, you fought last night against Genaji. Can't pronounce his surname because we'll be here all day otherwise, but yes, you fought Genaji last night. Was it 39-37, was it?
I believe so, mate. Yeah, yeah. It was good fight, good solid rounds. He's a good solid fighter. He's Genaji. I'll give him that. Yeah, good strong lad. So it's good experience for me, mate. I took it a bit last minute, really. I had a couple of fights back end of last year that obviously we'll touch on. And then now that I'm fit again, I just said to Kev the other week, listen, now I'm fit, just get me as many as you can. Just throw them at me and I'll take them. So obviously I've got the one with that Rosser booked in next week. And then this one with Kennedy popped up the other day and he said, do you fancy it a weekend? I said, yeah, of course. It's all experience, mate, and rounds. So yeah, it was good to get in there, mate, and dust off some cobwebs from back end of last year.
Um, yeah, was that a home fight for you? And how many days/weeks notice did you have for that Gennady fight?
So it was, yeah, it was. So I was down as a home fighter. Usually I go on the road, and I think he gave me, I think it was only a couple of days that we decided to do it. So yeah, it was just good for us both to get out again, and like I said, we're both out again next weekend. So it was good preparation for us, really.
Mm. Yeah, because I only found out the night before you fought because I sent you saying,
Yeah,
can
you
I
did, yeah.
interview you? I didn't realize you was fighting because I was talking about the Leicester fight, and then I see Oliver Dakwi, I think that's his name, put up a running order, and I see, oh, you're fighting. That's what. Yeah, I thought you meant do the interview tomorrow, not about the fight that you were having. So I was all
No,
confused.
bit last minute, mate. But like I say, I'm all about like taking these chances now. Like I say, I'm not a spring chicken, so I've only got a couple of years left in it, mate. So while I'm fit, I just want to take everything while I can, mate.
Good stuff. And yeah, you kicked off the show as well against a good fighter in Gennady. I mean, talk us through the fight.
Yeah, he's a good solid German Grenadier. He's had, I think it was his 68th fight last night. So he's
Hmm.
been in, he's obviously been in with some brilliant opponents. Really good, strong lad. Good guy outside the ring as well. Proper gentleman, proper nice guy. But yeah, it was good for me to get in there, get some competitive rounds with him, and test myself against someone who's very experienced. Yeah, it was good, mate. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
It's always good when two road warriors fight one another and put it on the line because sometimes you see some of the road warriors just cover up, but when the road warriors fight each other, they're like they really want to win. Do you believe you won the fight last night or?
Uh, I think I obviously won a round or two. I'm not sure if I won it. And maybe if I could have gone forward, I don't know. But I wouldn't say I wasn't going in there to win. I just knew how strong he was. So I'm not sure. I mean, it was probably a fair decision that he won. Like I say, he's a good, strong lad.
I've
So
seen him fight at cruiserweight before.
yeah, yeah, he doesn't have take some fights. Like I think he's fought at much heavier than that as well.
Hmm.
But last night he looked like he'd lost a bit of weight. So, but he's back out again next week. I don't know what he's fighting at next week, but yeah, he's a warrior. He's going to do like.
Was it hard to take that loss last
No,
night?
no, not really. Like I say, I got into the pro game late, Sam. So, my thinking of it all is that I'll just have as many fights as I can in the short time I've got as a pro. I mean, if I was to go as a prospect and selling tickets, I'd probably get out what 3, 4 times a year. I mean, I know I've had 4 fights in like a year and a half now, but
Hmm.
obviously when I turned pro, I had the one fight with Paddy, and then my building business just boomed, and obviously that's going to be there forever. My boxing career is not, so I had to make sure that was stable and it was steady. I steadied the ship with that, and then
Hmm.
once I steadied the ship with that, it was kind of like right, get fit now, get as many fights as I can, take as much of this out of this pro game as I can. So no, like I say, it doesn't bother me the loss. Like I said, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to win, but yeah, it's more about the experience for me now, not getting hurt. Like I say, it's yeah, just more about the experience
Hmm.
for me now, and obviously
Learning
being
on the job.
I'm not going to be obviously curling up in a ball for no one. I want to be competitive. I don't want to disrespect the sport or my opponents. So yeah, it's just about enjoying it, mate.
Mm. And yeah, I mean, talk about your second fight you had at your call against Ernest Belazia. I think that's
Dennis
how you pronounce his name.
Dennis Blasi, he was a good lad, Albanian kid, big ticket seller really.
Mm.
I'm surprised how rowdy it was in that your call. But yeah, it was good, mate. He was another good test. And that was at your call back end of last year. That was my first fight back after about, I think I'd been out of the ring, mate, about a year because of obviously after the Paddy fight, my building work taking off and that. So yeah, that was good. Good to get in there and have some good solid rounds with him.
It was good
And
to
then
see you as well that night.
yeah, it was good to see you too, mate. Yeah, it was a long time coming. I think we was a bit like ships passing in and out, weren't we? Kept missing each other's Zoom calls and stuff. So yeah, it
Mm.
was good to meet.
Yeah. It was, and you, not many people can say they headlined your call in only their second fight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a bit of a dream come true, really, kind of thing. Like I say, it's the mecca of British boxing, I suppose, isn't it? So to say, I mean, even just at that, I mean, the first few fights I've had, obviously, I was on Channel Five with the Paddy one, and then to headline at York Hall, just them in themselves. I mean, not many pros at me who are a lot more talented than me get to do that. So,
Mm.
if I can retire at that, that's pretty good going with them two.
Hmm. Do you agree with the stoppage?
What the Dennis Blasi one?
Hmm.
I think it was slightly premature, but I mean, look, I'm bound to say that, aren't I, mate? Maybe slightly premature because as the ref jumps in, I'm actually throwing punches back. So I'm not sure. I'm one of them though. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It's done, it's dusted, and move on, mate. Move on to the next one.
Would you say he's the hardest hitter you've been in there with at this moment in time?
Um, I don't know actually. Paddy could whack. Um, but then again, Genaji could last night. So I'm not sure whether it's a weight thing or what. But I mean, it's the pro game. Everyone can whack, mate. But I'd say I don't know. Paddy could whack. I mean, I know he's not had loads of stoppages, but he can dig Paddy. I'll give him that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd probably say Paddy, mate. To be honest with you.
Because Paddy's recently been getting calls to fight on a Matchroom as well.
He's doing really well. I'm pleased for him. He's a good lad, Paddy. I think he's fought once or twice on there now, hasn't he? Actually
Mm.
went to one of his last fights for Matchroom. He did really well. He
Against
really
Owen, Kirk,
no, it was the one before that, mate. Against
McCarthy.
that's the one, mate. Yeah, really good fight. They're both two Liverpool local lads. Really good scrap. That Paddy did really well. So yeah, all the best to him. I hope he goes on to do big things.
Hmm. And then you fought Luke Thomas in December, and it went all well. It was 40-36 to him, but it went all the way. And was it a bit of a relief going all the way after your first two? Of course, getting stopped must not have been nice, but finally, seeing the distance, that must have been good.
Yeah, mate, exactly that. Do you know what it was when I came into this program? I'd obviously done quite a lot of white collar, and I'm not saying I did it all my own way, but obviously boxing in the white collar, you sell the tickets yourself. You're the home fighter. Um, you box to a certain way, you know that their lads are going to be on the back foot, and you're going to be the aggressor. Obviously, coming into the pro game, I'm 38 years old now, and I had to mix up my style, but I didn't realise that. I learnt the hard way. So yeah, it was kind of more about switching up how I was approaching these fights. If I'm going to go on the road and I'm going to be out boxing every weekend, I can't be walking forward because I'm going against prospects now, professional prospects. So yeah, it was more about changing our box a bit, getting on the back foot, staying safe, still being competitive, don't get me wrong. But yeah, making sure I wasn't stopped and wasn't taking any stupid risks, really, mate. So yeah, it was a relief, mate. Yeah.
I thought you looked quite a bit better in that fight than you did your first two. I thought I've seen improvements within that fight.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, like I say, it was all about realizing what my job is now, rather than boxing how I've boxed for the last few years. And yeah, making sure that I get in there, get the competitive rounds in, but don't be taking these stupid risks and opening myself up too much, because these lads are really good prospects, and you can't be affording to take errors with them, mate, because they'll punish you straight away.
Um, what fight do you feel like you've performed your best in so far?
I'd say I've got better with each one, mate. Just it's not about knowing the game really. So I'd say last night I boxed a lot better than I did with Luke. And again, with Luke was better than the Dennis one, and obviously the Dennis one was better than Paddy one. So I'd say I'm improving every time. I'm learning the pro game on the road. I'm learning it as I'm doing it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's good, mate. I feel like I'm improving every time, and hopefully next weekend I'll improve it more. And the weekend after, improve it more. And I know the win will come. It's just, yeah, finding my feet and building brick by brick, mate.
Yeah, like Genaji. I mean, he had 60 fights where he didn't get a win in it. It'll just eventually, come at the right time.
That's it, mate. Yeah, you just got to keep grinding away. There's no, like I say, I'm very, I won't cry over spilt milk. If I take a loss, that's it. Get on with it. Get on to the next one. I know it's going to come. You just got to put the hard work in. It's as simple as that. Like I say, I've said to a lot of people, I'm not the most talented boxer in the world. I was never going to be a prospect, but my talent is working hard, and I train hard. I'm in the gym every day, and I know that if I just keep doing that, then the wins will come, mate. So that's it.
And some people don't understand a role of a sort of journeyman away fighter, where they don't understand that even though their records aren't the prettiest, but they fight every week, every single week, and providing they don't get cut or stopped, they're out pretty much every week. Sometimes they're fighting in London, and then the odd time they're fighting in Manchester. You travel up and down the country.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like Gendry last night. I mean, he's out again next weekend, the weekend after. But I think he's fought for the last God knows how many weekends on the trot. So yeah, it's about getting in there, being competitive. Like I say, you don't want to disrespect anyone. People have been these prospects have trained camps. You don't want to be getting in there and curling up. You want to still give them a fight, but you want to obviously make sure that if you're fighting the weekend after, that you
You
say
get through it.
yeah, get through it. But also, like I say, don't just disrespect him and just, you can't be curling up in a ball like you can on the white collar scene. No disrespect to a lot of them. There's some good fighters on there, but a lot of the time you go into it and the bell would go and they curl up in a ball, and I've trained hard for this. So yeah, it's about just getting the rounds in, but being competitive and making sure you're not cut or not stopped, so you can fight again the next week. And it's a good experience, mate. So even just the short time that I've been doing the pro game, some of the stuff I've done, it's unbelievable. Headline at York Hall, boxing on Channel 5 at the M&S Arena. On that show of Kev's last night was a great little show.
Yeah, you boxed first. I mean, kicking off the show with a bang.
Yeah, it was good, mate. And like I say, the next two shows, one's in Leicester, the next one's in Oldham or Manchester, I think. So yeah, it's good, mate, getting about and seeing the country. And last night it was the experience as well. So last night, I like Anthony Croller in my changing rooms and stuff. That someone I've looked up to for years. Watching him box. It was just great experience, mate. And some really top lads, some really top lads and top prospects in there with us as well. And
Yeah,
just
because William was fighting, wasn't he?
he was, mate. Yeah, yeah. He had a great performance. I think. He stopped the lad in the second. I think it was. Yeah, that was. He looks like he's on a bit of a roll. That William. Good luck to him.
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he is, mate. Yeah, got a good team behind him as well.
What weight did you fight at last night? Because normally Gennady fights at light heavy, and I thought you was middle.
Yeah, so last night, so obviously I found out a few days before, so obviously didn't. I've obviously been eating a bit, taking in on a bit of water. So last night I think I weighed in, mate, about because next week's got to be at 11.6. So I think last night I was 11.4, and I think Kennedy last night it was only about. I'm not sure. He was under 12 though. He looked like he was gone. He looked like he'd lost a bit of weight.
But he would have refueled and stuff, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think there was loads in it. But yeah, I was about 11.4 last night, mate. I feel good at that weight, mate, to be honest with you. I mean, when I fought Paddy, which was about a year and a half ago. That was the first one. I took that on 24 hours notice because I was due to get married in a couple of weeks. So my plan was get married and then get on the pro scene and start hitting it. But I was lifting weights for my wedding photos really. And then I got a phone call, do you want to take this on Channel 5 tomorrow night? I was like, yeah, go on then. But I was about 11.6, 11.7 then. And I felt a bit sluggish, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, but I plan on staying around this weight, mate, if I can, about 11.3, 11.4, because I feel good, feel fit, feel strong.
That's the main thing. And yeah, you've got next week, well, Saturday, you've got next week, Saturday, you've got Rosa O'Donovan, who's 0-1, and it's in Leicester Arena.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know too much about him, to be honest with you. I just know that he lost his first fight to an experienced lad. So yeah, I don't really know much about him, mate. But again, it's another good fight that I can get some competitive rounds in and see how we go, mate. Like I said, I don't know too much about him. I think he's only had the one fight, hasn't he? So yeah, it'll be good, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you feel like, of course, he'll be a bit, I wouldn't say, bad nerves, but like a bit of sort of cautious, knowing he lost the last fight. He'll trying to, I would say he'd be more hungry, this time round to try and get a win,
He would. He's saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. They all want to win, don't they? Really, everyone wants to win. So yeah, I mean, he probably has. He's probably gone back, seen to the gym after his loss, and works on things that he thinks he may have gone wrong in his first fight. So yeah, I mean, I expect him to be hungry and competitive, mate. And like I say, in this pro game, mate, nobody's a slouch. They can all punch and they can all move. So yeah, I'm looking forward to testing myself against him, mate. That'll be good.
Is it your first time fighting in Leicester?
It is, mate. Yeah, I worked away actually. I worked down there with my building business for a couple of years, so I know it quite well. But yeah, it's my first time fighting there. That's like I say, the beauty of this program. Getting to travel all over the country and rub shoulders with like people you've looked up to for years. Just absolutely, just brilliant boxing people. Just nice guys. You know what I mean? It's a good experience.
Mm. Yeah, so what's the goal for you this year? Is it just to get as many fights as you can?
That's it, mate. Yeah, pick up some obviously wins as well. But yeah, I've just said to Kev, so I've got last night, next week, the weekend after. I've just said to Kev, get me as many as you can, just throw them at me and I'll take them all. If I can get out, I mean, I turned pro at 37, mate. So if I can get to 20 pro fights before I jack it all in, I'll be well happy with that. Like I say, some people don't even have 20 pro fights and before they retire. So yeah, if I can get to 20, mate, I'll be more than happy with that. But yeah, I said to Kev, get me as many as possible this year. By the time I fought these next two, that'll be 5 fights in 6 months. So I wasn't even that active when I was doing amateur and white collar and stuff. So yeah, just get as many as I can, mate. Pick up some wins, and that'll be a good, successful year for me, I think.
So how many fights this year, roughly? What, 6 more or something like that?
Well, yeah, I was thinking about 8 fights this year, to be honest with you. But considering I've had 3 in the next 3 weeks, I'm thinking I might push it up to 12 on a month, mate, if it works out like that. Yeah, so yeah, as many as possible. If I can get to 10 fights this year, mate, I'll be well happy with that.
What, 6 more?
Yeah, 6 more, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so you say, so you've got the Donovan fight, but you said, and then maybe one in Oldham you were saying, or do you have an opponent or just not just yet?
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure it's on Kev's show actually, because I'm pretty sure it's in Oldham again. Kev mentioned he could have someone for me in Oldham, so I'm presuming it's on his show because I know he's got a show in 2 weeks. And my mate Dan Caplan's on it.
Oh yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan's on it, mate. So and that's in, I think it's Oldham, Kev's show. So hopefully it is, because that'd be nice if I'm boxing on the same show as Dan. It'd be quality. 2 Fleetwood lads boxing on the same show. But yeah, I don't know who the lad is yet, mate. I'll just have to find out off Kev. Like I say, I'll take whoever, and yeah, see how we go, mate.
Do you train with Dan or like spar with him, sort of thing?
No, done bits with him in the past. A mutual friend of ours called Jeff Thomas's. But then obviously Dan, he trains in Chorley now at the Jennings gym. And I'm just still in Fleetwood, and obviously being a builder, and I just train when and where I can really. So if it means it's 5 o'clock in the morning, it means it's 10 o'clock at night, I just get that work in. My mate owns a gym who sponsors us. Shout out to Muscle Unit Gym in Fleetwood. And yeah, so I don't really see much of Dan. He does a class on a Friday in Fleetwood with the lads at our gym, Fleetwood Gym. But no, I've not really trained with him for a while, mate. Done little PTs with him and stuff like that, but never any really sparring or anything really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and before I let you go, mate, do you want to thank whether that's manager, trainer, just anybody who's helping you out on your journey at this moment in time?
Yeah, obviously Kev Murray is the main man, and he's he's I know now I know why. When I got into it, everyone said honestly, it's an old cliche, but Kev Murray is one of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life, and it's absolutely true. He's an absolute gentleman. He's just nice. He's so nice. His man management skills are unbelievable. And you just know he's got your best interest. Don't put no one in no stupid fights. And you can tell he generally cares about his fighters. So yeah, he'd be the main shout out, mate. And obviously I've got a trainer, my friend Drew. He couldn't unfortunately be there last night. As we had a amateur show on, so he was required to go there. But he'll be with me next week and the weekend after. But yeah, he's been on the journey with me since the start. Really, he kind of started coaching. He's turned into a really good coach. He's just enthusiastic about boxing, just like I am, really. And we're kind of on this little journey together. Him as a coach and me as a professional fighter. So yeah, shout out to him as well because yeah, he'll be there next week and for the remaining fights this year.
Mm-hmm. And from me, mate, thank you for your time. Unlucky on last night, but we go again this week.
That's the one, brother. Yeah, cheers for the interview, Sam, mate. I'm glad you're well, and I'll hopefully catch up with you soon.
Anytime, mate. Thank you for your time. Bye, mate.
Cheers, pal. Bye, mate. Bye.